All right, Keith, today not a bad day. The sun's shining. I was out there kind of clearing up the driveway a little bit, the spots we missed yesterday. I know a lot of people doing that. And then just one more day of rest, and another's on the way.
Yeah, the sun is huge for cleanup because like I got it pretty good, and then the sun hit it, and you go back out there. And we got a quiet day tomorrow, and then tomorrow night things go off the rails here. We're going to start with that storm system. Good looking storm, low just stretching through Oklahoma right now. And this storm is more powerful than the last one, just as far as its strength. The issue is it's going to be to the west of us. So we call that an inside runner when the low is to the west. And this low is way to the west, like out towards Toronto. And 90% of the time when that happens, you're going to change over to rain. And the only exception to that is if you have a truly Arctic air mass in place, which we don't. It's chilly, but it's not Arctic. And so that will introduce all kinds of extra hazards to this storm, not just snow like the last one. We're going to bring wind into this, heavy rain, and we're also going to bring flooding into it because of the rain melting some of the snow. So let's get to the timing here, which again will be fine tonight and tomorrow during the day. It gets into the teens tonight. There will be probably a little black ice forming out there because we did melt some snow and then it refreezes. That tends to happen. Tomorrow we start maybe with a little sun, and then from southwest to northeast we get gloomy through the middle of the day into the afternoon. Temperatures upper 20s to around 30. So that's important. Cold, but not Arctic. So this system moves in, it looks like around 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I disagree with this assessment by this model. I think it'll actually be snow along the coastline too, initially, for the first couple of hours. And then eventually that southeast flow off the water, it's just too warm. The water's just too warm. And so it's pushing that rain snow line inland quickly. This is Wednesday 2 a.m. and we've driven it into Lewiston and Augusta. And by the morning, only the mountains are hanging on to snow. The rest of us are changed over to rain, heavy rain at times, temperatures popping into the 50s perhaps as well, and there'll be gusty winds. So it's going to be kind of wild early Wednesday morning. Good news is the storm does move out quickly. By Wednesday afternoon, we are cleared out. So let's start with the only part of this that can be fun, which is snow. And the mountains are going to do really well with this storm. It might end as a little rain there, but it's going to be definitely a net gainer here. 6 to 12 inches of snow, and then bullseyes of over 12. In fact, this spot right here into New Hampshire, they could get 2 feet or more snow. That's such a good spot with an overrunning situation like this. Outside of the purple, all the snow you see here, you'll lose it and then some from the rain. So 3 to 6 gone, plus some of what you got from yesterday. In the 1 to 3 contour, we're going to probably lose, if not all, most of our snow. And that brings us to our next map because we're going to add melted snow to the rain that's going to fall. So forget about the mountains because that's mostly snow. But anywhere outside the mountains, a lot of this is rain. So we're looking at 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain coming down. Then we're going to melt a lot of snow. Let's say we melt 10 inches of that. That's another inch of liquid equivalent. So now instead of 2.5 inches, you've got 3.5 inches of water, and you've got nowhere to put it because you've got frozen ground, and you've got a lot of storm sewers that are clogged. Of course, I saw the city going around trying to fix that as quickly as they can, but it's going to be hard to fix that in time. And then the wind, which will be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, broadly southeast winds, 55 to 60 miles an hour. So we're going to have power outages. Shouldn't be of the magnitude of our last storm, but there'll be quite a few of them. And inland, I don't think that's as much of an issue. I think this is a coast situation. And the reason for that is snowpack can make it harder to bring winds down to the surface. That's a whole synoptic meteorology class that we don't have time for. You just have to trust me on that. And then we've got another storm that looks just like this next Saturday. Whew. All right.
Here, take a breath.
That's where we're at. You got a question. Go. Great.
Yeah. It seems like, based on the timeline, that the majority of the weather of it is kind of gone through most of the state. The worst of it is gone by like 9 a.m. But what it seems like people are going to have to contend with is less maybe the commuting, but the possible for flooded roads, power outages in determining if kids are going to school and people going to work.
I think, especially when it comes to the wind, I think most areas will know by 10 a.m. on Wednesday if they're going to have power, if they're going to keep power, because most of the strong wind gusts are over that. And the flooding it's more immediate than our last situation. Last time the water had to get downhill from the mountains to these rivers and streams. This will be while it's raining. It'll be flash flooding. So, yeah, there you go.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Keith.